Hello everybody, it's Niklas and welcome to this new video on Wings 3D, and in this video we are going to see how to create extrusion. Subscribe to this YouTube channel if you like the content. First link on the description, the complete course Wings 3D is available, so if you want to learn this software starting from scratch, it will be on the first link on the description. You will see the models session of the course. It is a complete course to perfectly master Wings 3D. Wings 3D, it is 3D modeling software, and you can master the different features to create different type of models. Secondly, on the description, the website in link with this YouTube channel. You can learn software on these YouTube channels. And secondly, on the description, it is a summary of all the graphic courses available. Something that I'm going to do is first to go right click, and I will create a cube. So I will go right click here, create a cube, and with these options I can define the options of my cube. So what options I will define? I will put a value like 14 on the x-axis. I will define 6 on the y-axis and maybe 12 on the z-axis. I will put, for example, on ground and just validate. So I created this cube. What is the principle of the extrusion? You can extrude a face, even if you can extrude also an edge and also a vertex. I will click on the face because this is what we use the most, and I will select the faces on the top here. And if I want to create an extrusion, I will go right click, and you can use extrude, and you can select an axis or on the normals. If, for example, I click on the normals, I can create an extrusion on this direction. You can dragging and moving the mouse, and if you press tabulation, you can enter a value of extrusion. For example, I want to extrude with 8, I can apply 8. If I want to continue, I can go right click, extrude. If I want to extrude on the y-axis, it corresponds to the normal, but I can click on the y-axis, and I can extrude also on the y-axis. And I will press tabulation, and I will enter, for example, a value of 2. This is how you can create extrusion. I can also, for example, create an extrusion with 2 faces or more. I can click on the face, select this one, and I will select this one, just like this. And I will go right click, I will define extrude normals, and I will be able to extrude on this direction, for example, here. So it's pretty convenient, and this is how you can extrude. If, for example, I delete this one, I will go right click here, and I will create something like, for example, a sphere. So I will create a sphere, I will go on the options of my sphere, I will change the radius for maybe 40 and 40, and I will reduce with 8 and 8 the section and the slices. If you click here, you can select all the object, and if you switch to faces, you can select all the faces, and I will go right click. If I select extrude normals, I will obtain this render. But where I can be interesting, I can press the space bar, and for example, I can create a selection, maybe this one, and I can go here, maybe I can create a selection of this one, and I will go right click, extrude normals, and I can extrude like this. And then I will go right click, scale uniform, and I can, for example, reduce on this direction. This is the principle of work. Let's create another example. I will go right click, and I will create something like icosahedrons. The icosahedron will appear here. I can just define an edge length. Let's put, for example, 40, and I will validate. It is same. If you click here, you can select all the object, and if you switch to this, you can select all the faces. If you go right click, extrude, and you define normals, you will obtain this render. But if you go right click, extrude free, you can, it still like to move. But as you can see, it's not convenient. And something that you can do, it is I can deselect. It's only to select specific faces. So I can, for example, select this one, or this one, and maybe this one. And I will go right click, extrude normals, and as you can see, I can extrude these different parts. And if I want to make something more on the face, I can continue. Maybe I will just scale uniform, and I will reduce on this area, just like that. So let's click on this object and make a more concrete example. I will create a cylinder. So for this, I will go right click. First, I will deselect with the space bar. And I will go right click, and we will create a cylinder with a different option of this cylinder. I will define first a radius for my cylinder. So I will define 40 and 40, here 40, here 40. And after I will define a number of sections, I will define 80. So 80 sections. And for the 8, I will just define 4. Then I will validate my creation of the scene. After to do this work, I will select a face. So I will click on the face selection mode and select the face on this area, and then I will select this face also here. And I will extrude. So right click. Before to extrude, I will create inset first. So first I will use inset. So thanks to that, you can dragging and moving and create an inset like this. And I will press tabulation to enter a value. Let's put, for example, 60. And I will just validate. I have still my two faces selected, and I will go right click. I will extrude on the normals. And I can extrude just like this on the two faces at the same time because I'm using normals. And I will press the spacebar and I will use, for example, 20, just like that. I have still my two faces selected. Let's create another inset. So right click, insert, and I will dragging and moving the mouse, and I will press tabulation, and I will enter another value. Let's put 40, and I will just validate. And I will continue. If never you deselect with a spacebar or anything like this, I can come back and select this face again, and select this face again. And then I will go right click, extrude, normals, and I will be able to extrude again. And in this type of case, I will increase, I will extrude with 80, and I will just validate. So this is the type of things that we can do with the extrusion, as you can see. And I could continue. If I want, I can continue to extrude, but you can also extrude inside if you need. So for example, you can click here, and I can go right click, I can select insert, just like that. And if I go right click, I define extrude, normals, oops, right click, extrude normals, I can also go inside. And for example, you can create like a hole like this, just because you are going to extrude inside, just here. But if you want to extrude outside, you can also extrude outside. This is the type of things that you can do. Let's just come back with undo panels, just like this. If I want to have a preview of this object, I will define a view. And here I can define this one to obtain this render, just like this. Or maybe I can go on this face, and maybe I can go on this face as well. And I will be able to go right click, and I will create a small bevels. And thanks to that, I can dragging and moving like this. Let's just zoom a little bit, and I will press tabulation, and I will enter a value of bevels. Here, maybe I can type a value of 2, and I will just validate my element. I want to extrude inside, right click, extrude normals, and I can, for example, extrude inside, just like this, on these two directions. But I can also, if I just come back here, I can also extrude outside one more time. So extrude normals, and I can extrude again. And if I want to enter a value, I can press shift, and I can enter a specific value. Let's just extrude with, for example, 20, just like this. So as you can see, it's pretty convenient to use this type of extrusions. If I want to recuperate my type of view, I will be able to go on these panels, and I will select just here view, show edges, and at the same time show back face. Sometimes it's pretty convenient to use this one. You can apply also a bevel after, but for the selection it's more convenient, for example, to apply a bevel before the extrusion, even if you can apply a bevel after as well. So we are going to stop here for this video. If you like, subscribe to these YouTube channels. First link on the description, the complete course Wings3D is available. If you want to learn this software starting from scratch with the course structure, it will be on the first link on the description. You will see the model session of the course, different hours of training content to master the different features of this software. At the end of the training course, also different training session on the creation of different parts, creation of different type of 3D models to train to use Wings 3D. Second link on the description, the website in link with this YouTube channel. You can discover software on these YouTube channels. You can discover the different use of this software. And second link on the description, it is like an online school. What does it mean? It means that concretely you can pick a course. You have different graphic courses available on different software, You can pick a course and learn any graphic software. For our next video on these channels, see you. Ciao, ciao.